Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna go start to finish on fixing stick drift on this Elite Series 2 controller. So the first step with these is to peel off this faceplate here. It's got tabs locking it in, but it's also got some pretty strong adhesive. So I have this little pry bar that I got out of a watch repair kit from Harbor Freight. Try to go under here. Looks like this one may have already been opened before. Okay, so that is usually much more difficult. You have to put a lot of force into it, and you may want to come into the other side. This one has definitely been opened before, so that was pretty easy. So these usually, yeah, this is, well, I can see that that's broken there, so this has been worked on before. So a lot of times from the factory, these are really tight. You may want to take just like some pliers to be able to screw those off. But you unscrew those, and then you have all these screws in the top here. These are T9 screws. And then you can just work the frame out of your back piece there. This you also might want to check. These magnets here, they're what mount the back paddles in. Sometimes these dislodge and end up stuck behind the joysticks, and that will cause drift. So if you notice a magnet here is missing and it's stuck anywhere else up here, just take some super glue and glue it back in. These red lines, I don't actually know how much those red lines matter, but one's always up, the opposite one's always down. So that could be something that's causing your drift. Now, just like on the other Xbox controllers, there's two T6, I believe, screws holding this in. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to unplug those. It has two plugs here. They just come straight up. You want to be careful with these ones because unlike on all the regular Xbox controllers. These are plugged in on both ends. On the later pattern Xbox One controllers that have Bluetooth wires and the core controllers, the other end on the top board here, it's soldered on, so you don't have to worry about it coming off. These ones, it can't. So then, if this peg is still here, I want to take the bumpers off. They come out just like the ones on the core controllers do. You pull the tab out this way, and then it'll just come straight off. That'll let the triggers flop up more to give you more space. This isn't really essential. I like to just remove it because it makes reassembly a lot easier. Sometimes, there it goes. You can usually work it out like that. Sometimes you want to grab pliers. So from here, it's basically the same. And I don't want to forget to mention it, just like on all the other Xbox controllers, your headphone jack is held in place by the two boards being together. It's not physically attached to either board, so don't lose that when it falls out. From here, fixing the stick drift is the same as it was on everything else, really. You want to check to make sure this plastic tab here is still in place. It is on this one. And you're going to want to clean. Had my bottle sitting a little too far away for me to reach. You want to clean these up with isopropyl alcohol. And you want to see if these arms are broken. And when you're popping these open, be really gentle your first time. So just ease your tool in there and work it back. I know I do it pretty quick. And these ones feel like they've been opened before. This controller's been opened before. So most likely somebody opened this and tried to clean these up, because that one wasn't really that dirty. So a little bit. This one's not usually scratched up, but this one is sometimes. Now, you want to look inside there to see if the potentiometer is scratched up. The Xbox ones can be a little trickier getting in and out. These actually look like they got space. Sometimes the Xbox ones are very flush at the bottom, so you can't get them out easy. Alright, let's come over to this one. Alright, that piece in there. Looks good. Clean this up a little bit. Alright, that looks good. Paused it real quick because I felt a sneeze coming on. So yeah, you just do the same thing. Okay, that looks good. Ah, there's the culprit. Yes, you can see that here. So you see this lighter spot here? That's a scratch. So, when that happens, what you want to do, take an X-Acto knife, and side that was on this, so, and you want to bend that arm out. It's hard for me to show this really good on camera because this is tiny. But, so you see how I have this arm bent out a little bit more. That's what you want. I'm just going to double check and make sure there's not any kind of faint scratch on the other side. No, the other side looks perfect. Sometimes those scratches are almost impossible to see. So if you do this, if you clean all this up, you put it back in and you're still getting some glitching around when you're testing it, you might want to just come back and on whichever stick is doing it, bend both of those out on both of the potentiometers. So now we can go put it back together. Put your headphone jack back in and not bump it out of place when you're going to plug the boards back together. Make sure that the plug's lined up and push in place. Take these, there's two of them. The one on the left goes into the plug on the left. The one on the right goes into the plug on the right. These can be a little tricky to get because of how small they are, and especially I have chunkier fingers. Alright, there we go. I think I probably made some really bad camera angles there. I'm trying to look over the camera so I can see better what I'm doing. So then if you took those off, you're going to have to put those back on. They just slot right back on. There are two little slots there, and it just goes into those, snaps right over. To get this back on, start underneath the USB and just kind of work it over, and it snaps straight back into place like that. Take your two screws for that board, put those back in. These screws are very important because they help keep the board together, especially because the sticks will get pressure on them. So you want to make sure, so if you happen to lose one of these, it's better because there is a whole bunch of screws in here. There isn't as many in here. There's only 4 on these. On the regular ones, there's 6. But it's better to take a screw out of here so you have 2 screws holding this in than it is to have no or 1 screw holding those in. Had a customer walk in the store to go help them real quick. So then once you got this back together, you just screw your joysticks back on. Then it's helpful to pull the triggers a little bit. There. I think this is set to the But yeah, have it set to the highest setting and then pull the triggers a little bit, and that'll be the easiest way to get those back in. And then the faceplate just snaps right back on. Alright, there you go. That's how you fix stick drift on an Elite Series 2 controller. I hope this video helped you out, and stay tuned for more repair videos.